everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to yet another episode of the MonetizeU show. Oh my goodness, I have just been a little bit of everywhere. This is Gail Turner Brown. I am your broadcast entrepreneur and co-host of the MonetizeU show. You know, this is the place to be where you want to gather information to determine how do you take your skills, your talents, your expertise, and turn them into cold hard cash. So once again, I want to say welcome to everyone to the show. Today I'm coming to you from a little town called Pico Rivera. I've been in Pico Rivera for about 5 or 6 days, well, since last Thursday. And it's a really nice town. I have a fabulous host. In fact, if you tuned in last week and you saw Sue Oyella, oh my God, I gotta make sure I say this right, Oyella, then and she was the fabulous one that was sharing with us about Airbnbs. Well, it just so happens that she had a property available, so I got to stay at her property. So that's where I'm coming from today. And so once again, I want to say welcome to everybody. Now, you know the routine. So here we go. Before we get into the meat of the content, I like to say two things. Number one, grab your pens, grab your papers, grab your recording devices or whatever you need so that you can take a really great notes because you're really going to want to tune in to what we're talking about today. Number two is I want to introduce to you my illustrious co-host and best-selling author, implementation strategist, Mr. R.L. Chance. Take it away, Mr. Chance.
Right. How everybody doing today? Good afternoon. I hope you are having an awesome day and week so far. It's been a blessing, y'all, but we feel like we missed you guys. It's been a whole week, but I feel like I missed you for some strange reason. Anyhow, my name is Chance, U.S. Navy veteran, #1 best-selling author, and your implementation strategist. What are we here to talk about? We are sharing with you how to monetize you, how to take your skills, your education, your expertise, and experiences and be able to turn them into income producing ventures online. So without further ado, as Gail normally says, we want to make sure you do several things. Make sure you like, comment, and share. There's some folks already getting in here. Welcome, Martha, Renita, and others. We thank you guys for coming in. Kat is always on. We look forward to sharing with you in just a moment. Today's show is powerful. Today's show, if you notice, several things is going on, right? First of all, our country is going crazy in many different ways, but I want to make sure that when we said we enter into 2018, we were telling you that we want you to make some changes. We want you guys to set some big, massive goals to achieve this year. And here's the thing, just pretty soon, the first quarter of the year is about to be over, and we are going to be welcoming another quarter. So how are you doing on your first quarter goals? We want to make sure that we talk about that today. And if you are behind on your goals, we're going to give you some strategies in today's show on how to achieve your goals faster as you go into the second quarter of 2018. So Gail, I'm throwing it back to you. But again, guys, make sure as you come on, like, comment, share this word out so others can join, because we are sharing some wonderful, powerful information today that will help you to achieve your goals. That could be health and fitness goals, financial goals, spiritual goals. It doesn't matter what goals you have. If you want to achieve your goals faster, today's show is going to show you how to do that. If you have a business and you have some business goals, or you're going to be meeting with your team soon to assess how we did in the first quarter, if that's you, today's show might also benefit you as well. So Gail, back to you.
All right. So thank you, Mr. Chance. And you know, I didn't realize that. You're right. It's like, oh my gosh, we're coming up on the first quarter. And so as Chance said, you know, you got to check in, check in with where you are when you made those goals in January. You got to look at where are you at this particular point. It's always good to kind of set like mile markers to determine, are you getting closer to them or are you getting further away? So now before I introduce the topic itself, I just want to say, as you guys can probably tell, I'm outside. I'm on the patio of the house that I was staying, that Miss Sue Oyuela home. And so I just want to let you guys know, because you might be hearing the birds and the bees and other nature sounds. So I just want to let you guys know that. So, so what we decided to do, because I began to actually have this thought myself, in terms of, if you're not where you want to be, well, what are some of the things that you can do, and how do we help to get there, get to where we want to go as fast as we can? So there's one thing that I've always learned that you should do, that one can do to help accelerate their achievements. So they normally say, find someone who's doing exactly what you're doing, and then imitate that person. And that person can be in my opinion, that person is normally a coach. Okay, if you don't have coaches in your life, if you don't have consultants in your life, if you don't have mentors, then that's one of the reasons that you're probably missing out. If you pay attention, I don't care what area a person is in, whether they are an athlete, whether they are in an artist, if they're in film, if they're in music, they always have coaches. And you also have what's called executive coaches. Anybody that's extraordinarily successful, they have a coach. They have someone that can help to guide them along the way. One phrase that drives me nuts is when I hear people say, this person was a self-made person. That is not true. That is never true, because no one, I'm going to say it one more time, no one gets there solely on their own. They have someone in their life, even if it's when you're young and you've got a teacher, maybe you've got, a clergy person or a person of faith, your parents, your grandparents. You've got some guide that's helping you to get to your next step, that help you get to your next level. So when you reach that level, when you reach the level of what you consider to be success, and as Chance mentioned, we're not just talking about monetary success. We're talking about, success in our health, success in our spirituality, success in our family life, in our connectiveness. And they're literally coaches that can help you all along the way in your relationships, whether it be your relationship with your spouse or a significant other, or your children or grandchildren. Whether you need to have your relationship with coworkers or your employees. Okay, there are coaches that can help you get to where you want to go, to help be that guiding light, in order to help you achieve. And I know most of the people that I've spoken to who have been either very successful, or they were able to find a breakthrough. Usually that extra super sauce, that little extra thing that had that tipping point, was because they had a coach. They had someone that really helped them, that made a difference. Because as I said, they were able to kind of tweak things and to see a different um, from a different point of view, a different perspective. Usually with coaches, they're able to see, it's like having an aerial view, so that they can see several miles down the road, where you can only see just like that first 5 or 10 steps in front of you. So having that coach say, this is what you need to do, follow this path, turn around, jump over that hole, that's what you need. So you should never ever discount the ability that coaches have to get you to where you want to go, a much faster. The big key though is, when you find a coach, then you need, and they provide you with their expertise as to how you need to achieve this particular thing. It won't matter if you don't listen and if you don't follow what their suggestions are. I remember someone said, if you're not where you want to be and you seek advice, just do what they say until you have mastered it. Then do what they say, because normally they're the ones that have been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and the ice cream to prove it, and all of the scars that go along with it, to help guide you to get you to where you want to go. So, Mr. Chance, I'm going to turn it over to you. I know you want to add to that, because y'all want to talk about coaches. This is the coach right here. Okay. He is the man with the plan, Mr. Coach. Okay. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mr. Chance.
All right. Thank you for clarifying there, Gail, because the reality is when it comes to mentoring, coaching, or consulting, sometimes they're used interchangeably, but they are indeed different. They are three different business transactions. So we want to help you to also know the difference. As Gail just said, she went into what they are, but let me just kind of give my spin on there again. So
Yeah.
when you look at a mentor, consider a mentor as an experienced person who's giving you advice. So this is your strategic advisor. That's all they do pretty much. They are advising you, they are giving you suggestion, tips, recommendations for you to do all of the implementation. So that's the difference there. Now, here's the interesting thing. Of all of these three, even though the mentor is the least hands-on, or the advisor, generally that person is normally paid most, but generally you can also find mentors for free. But again, we are looking at you taking charge of your life. So we're not dealing with free stuff here. What we're talking about is finding somebody, a program, a system, a strategy that will actually help you to achieve your goals faster. That's why we call the show today How to Choose a Mentor, Coach, or Consultant so you can achieve your goals faster. Okay. So that's what a mentor does. A mentor, again, is someone, I again think of it like a fatherly figure, a motherly figure. They come and they guide you because they've been on the journey before. They are where you want to be, way in the future, not just the immediate, but they are way, way, way ahead in the future. So that's who the mentor is. Now, the coach is the one who come alongside you and help you. Generally, they work with individuals to achieve your goals. It could be a health and fitness coach, a financial coach, anything, a marriage coach. So in other words, they're helping you reach your goals, but they are doing it with you. In other words, so the mentor is totally hands off. Now you have the coach. Now he or she comes alongside you and they do it with you. We call this done with you. Okay, so they help you to implement, but it's like again basketball and so forth. The coach is coaching the team, but the team is they are the ones playing, not the coach. They're the ones playing, and sometimes people get that confused because they want the coach to do the work for them. The reality is the coach helps you to do the work, but you have to do the work. But they are closer there to give you that support, the motivation, inspiration, and so forth. Like Gail says, for the mentor, you know what, they couldn't necessarily care whether or not you implement. And the reason why they're generally more expensive is because you can't waste your mentor's time. That's the difficulty sometimes of mentoring people for free. Sometimes you give so much advice and then people don't implement. It really is a waste of time and a lot of frustration sometimes, because you can be giving this person all you know and they just simply do not take action. So if you are a person who don't take a lot of action, a coach is someone who can get it done with you. Now, the consultant, though, however, is a little bit more hands-on than the coach. The consultant also comes alongside, but they do it for you. In other words, the consultant are generally people who work with businesses, though. So whereas coaches can work with businesses as well, but generally coaches, they generally work with the individual. Okay, they work with you to get it done with you. The consultant is the one who he or she has again that expertise. They're providing their expertise to solve your particular business problem.
Right.
So that's what they do. They solve the business problem, but they don't just solve it for you. Solve it like with you or something. They kind of implement for you. So in other words, let's take okay, we deal with business since they generally deal with business. So let's say your video. So a consultant comes along and they share with you to solve your marketing problem. You need videos. So they're not just going to tell you they need videos now, like an advisor, and then you go out and figure out how to do video. No, they will come and they will write out the strategy, a marketing plan to utilize in videos, and most likely they will do the video marketing for you, which is what you want. So that's kind of how I think of it, Gales. The mentor, hands off, advisor. The coach come alongside, done with you, and the consultant is the one who does it for you, as it were. They actually take the implementation and they put it into practice for you. That's kind of how I look at it.
Okay, so now I will say this. And for me, the consultant, and this is kind of how I see it. To me, I see a consultant as someone that may have a broad range of information that they can provide for you so that they can strategize with you, that they may give you, I'll just say, a holistic view. So I'm going to take what you were saying, Chance. So let's say if you're looking at someone's business, they may suggest, okay, yep, you need video, but you also need SE, you need to make sure that you're optimizing your website. Okay, and you also need this. So they're able to look at your business or your situation or whatever it is they need to consult with you on, and they are providing with you multiple strategies and providing maybe multiple tools in your tool chest. Now, and that could be to me, that could be their main purpose, is to
Right.
provide you with an array of solutions for you to look at to determine how to solve this particular problem. Then you can go to a coach that as you said, Chance, to work right alongside you to make sure, to help you to ensure that you're getting those things done. So
Or if you have a team in a business, they can train the business people to do the implementation.
that's true.
So
That's
that's
right.
options as well. Yes, like,
That's
especially,
right.
but as an individual, yeah, you deal with it. But sometimes we've seen that where consultant comes in, as you said, you give them the big picture, here are all the tools that we need, and they pretty much give you like a framework, like this is what you need to do. So it's not really a guesswork. It's more like, hey, based on your particular problem, your industry, what you have going on, this is a workable solution. And if they have the manpower to be able to implement, then they can pretty much coach them, or if they already know how but they just didn't think outside the box, so maybe the consultant give them the business a lot of ideas now that they hadn't thought of before, but they're
Exactly.
experts and their people can actually implement for them.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's totally, that's how I see consultancy versus a coach. And but I totally 100% agree when it comes to mentoring. Usually, like you said, that person is hands off. They may not even have an expertise in your particular area, but they are an expert in an overall field, or they, as you said, you have a, they've been through it. They've been through it maybe in their particular industry, but they understand what it takes to get from A to Z.
Right. And
You
let's
know,
take, for example, Richard Branson, right? He's a billionaire. So any person who has a general business kind of advice they need, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, because he's good in business. He can probably, like you say, give you some advice, though he may not be in your particular niche or industry.
exactly, exactly. Yes, yes.
You
And
understand?
I tell you what else, I love what you said, especially when it comes to mentors. Okay, because normally with mentors, as you said, they've been through it. They've gone through all of the processes, and they oftentimes may have several businesses that they're working on. Bottom line is, it's very difficult to get to them. So when you do, don't waste their time. I,
Yeah.
I like you said that, okay? They're
Yeah.
busy people. Don't waste their time. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, and I've had I've had several mentors, and I remember one of the things that they would say is, don't come to me, because that's the other thing. Don't come at a mentor in particular with, what are you going to, I need you to give me this, okay? Sometimes when, in order for you to connect with someone that you'd like to mentor you, you want to look at what do they need? What can I give to them? You know, I know to have noticed that a number of people who were able to obtain their mentors were from people that they said, look, what do you need me to do? I will be your gopher. I will be your chauffeur. I will be your whatever. If you know, to meet your need, because they were looking to connect with them and be able to help to obtain the advice and the sometimes just being around them. You know, sometimes it's like just let me just feel your energy that will help me to achieve what I want to achieve. So
Well,
I just want a lot of times for people to keep in mind, look at what can you do for them as opposed to only going to them and trying to talk to them and ask them about picking their brain. And it's like, ew, that is like not cute. I don't want anybody picking my brain, you know, because you just want it total, you know, you just expecting them to give to you and you're not expecting to give something back. So I just wanted to make that clear, and don't waste time. Okay, have, if you've got questions, have them prepared. Have them, if you finally have someone that you're able to take out for lunch or dinner or sit down and have a cup of coffee with, make sure you have your stuff together and you are prepared to ask questions, and listen. Do not talk, ask, and then don't say anything else,
right.
right? You just you know, you got to be prepared to listen to what they're saying.
Those are some wonderful tips, Gail. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to take a pause for just a moment. What we want you to do, if you guys have any questions, right? Welcome, Jonathan. Good to have you here, my brother. Make sure you post it right here on Facebook. For those who may be viewing on YouTube, you can comment as well. But if you have any questions on today's topic of how to choose a mentor, coach, or consultant to help you achieve your particular goal. So again, it's based on you individually, or if you're a business owner or anything along those lines, feel free to post a question. What we're going to do also, Gail, you've been sharing a little bit of working with mentors. We want to give some specific examples of maybe a coach, a mentor, or consultant that we've both worked with, and how that experience went, and how did we choose to pick pick one of those people to help us fulfill or reach our goals, because that's really what folks want to learn about today. And please post your questions in, right? Because here's the thing, this is going to get interesting, and what I'm saying is every quarter we should be reaching our goals, like, and if we're not obsessed about reaching our goals, then why are we setting them? Because you're going to be at the end of 20, here's the thing, 2018 will be the same way 2017, 16, or 2015 was if you don't do something different. So this is one of the ways for you to take action and achieve your goals and your dreams that you have set for yourself. All right. Nobody set them. You're the one that set them. But we just want to give you the tools to be able to do that. So, but again, for those of you who are just joining in, this is the Monetize You Show. We are here every single Tuesday, and this is our second season, right? We are on episode number 12. So we really have been doing a lot on this show. And so it could not have been possible without some of our sponsors. So we want to give a shout out to Get Response, which is the email marketing services that we use most here. And so we are recommending, if you're doing anything online, you do need email marketing. So if you need a platform, a tool that is robust, that can do everything you really need in email marketing, go ahead. The link is on the screen that's coming across here. Go ahead and check out Get Response. If you need hosting, if you have a website, a domain, you need hosting. One of that we have found to be reliable is Bluehost. Again, my websites, all of my websites, including the monetizeyouShow.com, is hosted on Bluehost. We have found it to be reliable, lots of wonderful uptime, and they also help you if you have a WordPress site. They do a lot of things to help you stay secure. So check those two out. Okay, Bluehost, that's where you want to go if you want to get hosting for your website. Again, the link is coming across here. And for those who want to get email marketing services, we recommend and we like to use ourselves Get Response. So let's get back to the show. So Gail, we are talking about how to choose a coach, mentor, or consultant to help individuals achieve their goals. What is one of the maybe an experience that you've had working with either one of these two individuals, and how did it benefit you or didn't benefit you in reaching your goals?
Yes. So I like most people. Well, I think like most people that I have associated myself with, they have all had coaches and mentors, and so I feel very blessed that I've come across coaches that I didn't even expect that they were going to end up being a coach. So I'm working with one right now who, oh my God, she's able to, one, she stays on my butt. Okay. She doesn't let me slack off. It's really interesting because sometimes we will let ourselves down, but we don't want to let someone else down. And so when you see that someone has taken an interest in you and that they want to see your success, it's an amazing thing. And so what she's able to do is she checks in with me. She has provided me with, okay, this is what number one, these are some of the suggestions I would suggest you go to based on some of the questions that she poses to me to make me think. It's like, what do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? Then we start talking about the business. Okay, well, exactly. Who are you targeting? And then again, it's like if you're in a boat and you have a rudder and it looks like you're going way off course. Well, that coach, at least the one that I've been working with, has been able to say, no, you need to reel this back in, or no, you got too many things in your boat. You got to throw some of this stuff out. Okay. You're working with too much stuff. Focus on this one thing until you achieve this, and then you go to something else. So one of the coaches that I'm working with now, that's what she's been able to do for me, is to really help to not only to guide me, but to encourage me to say, okay, I see what you're doing. That's a great step. Sometimes every once in a while I'll think, I'm like, you know what? Don't encourage me because I think this is a crazy idea, And so, and I will be totally open. I'm gonna be totally open, and I don't even know if I've ever even said this out loud before, but Chance and Curtis have actually been some of my coaches. They've been able to kind of watch and say, wait a minute, Gail, wait a minute, ho. Say that again. What is this? What are you doing? What are you doing again? But especially when it comes to the encouragement, so a lot of times when you think you're floundering, when you think, oh man, I suck, every once in a while we'll have those conversations with ourselves. So that's the other thing, is that a coach, and I guess really in some of these ways that, both Curtis and Chance have been like mentors, because they've also been like, the people that I've surrounded myself with that will lift me up when it's like, when I'm not feeling at my fabulous self, okay, that you guys are normally used to seeing on screen, okay? Every once in a while, this is not always there. So that's the other thing too, is that you can surround yourself with the right kind of people that, when they provide you advice, and that's the other thing too that a coach does and that a mentor will oftentimes do too, that you've got to be able to take constructive criticism, because that's what it is. It's like they don't tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear, because if you've had that, if you have I'll say instructed them, or they're knowing that they want to help you get to where you want to go, and they already have been there, done that, sometimes they got to do something to slap you back, right? You just that's what you need. So don't get mad when they do that. Okay. So that's, like I said, so that has been some of the benefit for me in my current space that my coaches have done, is that they've been able to ask me the hard questions and force me to be introspective and come up with the answers for in order for them to help guide me to where I want to go and to help me stay on track. So that's
Awesome.
some of the things that I've personally experienced.
Awesome. And so that's a great, wonderful story there. And so we feel blessed to be able to be mentioned as coaches for you as well. Might have to charge a fee though, Curtis. You know that. Charge a fee, right? I'm telling you. So next thing though, here's the thing. Here's the thing though. And so I almost felt like singing "You Lift Me Up," but
I know, right, right. Yeah.
but that is true. I mean, I think we all need that. For me, I primarily have worked with mentors and coaches. I'm not even sure if I ever worked with a consultant, although I do consulting myself. But yeah, primarily coaches and mentors. In the military, in particular, you had a lot of mentorship took place pretty much organically there. So that is the first place I would say I had experience with mentorship. And it came to a point when I was actually transitioning out of the military that they even made it mandatory for many of the servicemen to find a mentor, someone to actually help you and guide you through your career. And it could have been anybody. It doesn't have to be someone who was stationed where you were stationed. It could have been anybody around the world who is actually in the military or any branch of the service. So that was something interesting. So I was mentored in the military by senior ranking personnel. And so that helped me a lot. And the reason why that was great, how did it contribute to my goals? For me, in the Navy, I was promoted very, very fast. So I skipped two ranks, I think, also because of this kind of thing. And so it was a wonderful experience. When I was in Guam, I was the youngest sailor for my particular rank. I was the youngest person on the ship. So that was part of that. So again, because implementation, that's why I also learned the value of implementation was in the military. You got to implement, you got to like do, because knowledge by itself, they train you, but they make sure you practice. That's why they did a lot of drills, because they wanted you to implement, because that's how you get the success and the results. So that was my first experience. Now coaching, I got coaching for several different things. Mentorship, I got mentorship also in health and coaching. Well, I've been coached through books when it comes to health and marriage. So that's another way of getting coached too. Sometimes you may not be coached directly by the individual, but you can, if you buy a course or something along those lines, if you follow, because they're going to give you the same framework. So that's indirectly one way you can be coached as well. But the most expensive coaching I've done so far or paid for was, I think, last year, January, but this time again, first quarter. Yeah, I paid a good chunk of money for 5 days of coaching. 5 days of coaching. It was a $12,000 program that I was part of. But that was powerful. The reason for that, again, is because in retrospect, I mean, I don't think I really 100% needed it, but it helped because in 5 days, you had focus. I think somebody asked that question, which one of these two individuals can keep you focused on your goals? Well, like I said, the reason I like the pain, because for one, pain generally helps you to stay more focused.
Yeah.
Because at least you're looking at, hey, I got to get my money's worth. And so that was my main objective when I did the $12,000 coaching, was how in the world am I going to make my money back, number one. And if I could figure out that I at least will make my money back from this coaching, then hey, you know what, it's all good. So, but that helped me because again, it was 5 days focus. It was like 40 of us, and we didn't play around when we were there. I had to leave my home. It was in Maryland, and we went there, and we were just totally focused and engaged. And like you said, Gail, we didn't come with our own thing. It's like, this is what the coach said. This is what you do. You do this. You do that. You do that, and we just were implementing every single day. So that was my experience. It has generally been positive. I don't think I've had a negative experience per se with coaching, because again, it's based on my goal, right? This is what I want to do. My thing is, even when coaching may seem not to go well, Gail, I look at how can I at least take the information and make up for what I put in. For example, even if it's time. So let's say I bought a course and that was part of a coaching program. I didn't use or go through the entire course, I would say, okay, how can I still leverage this information by creating maybe some blog posts on there, summarizing my thoughts, my ideas, what I learned, and then put that back out, because in turn that might help me to get some subscribers, different things like that. So that's a positive way of looking at a negative coaching experience. But if your coach is not helping you to get the results you want, there's no problem. You can fire him or her, because you want someone to help you to attain your goal, right? And so that's the important thing. And for me, that was also freeing, because if I am also working with someone and they're not implementing, I want to have the liberty to fire them too.
Right.
We have to value each other. So yeah, Gail. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Those are my experiences.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that because it reminded me of something. So this is good. So when I wanted to learn how to invest in real estate, initially I became a part of an association. Okay, so all of these real estate investors were there because there's so many aspects. You're trying to figure out what do you want to do. So finally, this one particular gentleman had got up on the stage, and he provided a strategy of um, being able to purchase homes without any money. They were vacant. He was able to flip them really fast for large profits. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? That's it. That's what I want to do. And I hounded this guy. I called him, and I called him. And he had never coached before. I didn't know that at the time. I just thought, he was so confident and all of this stuff that I just thought, hey, this is what I want. And so I hounded him and talked him into coaching me. Little did I know he was going to his coach and say, hey, I got somebody wanting to coach. What do I do? How much do I try? I didn't know that at the time, but that's what was happening. All I knew was he was having success at something I wanted to do. So he ended up taking me on and a couple other people, and he told me I was the only one that did exactly what he said to do. And
Wow.
so from that relationship, we took it to a really high level. Okay. I literally, and I had a very high need because I had just bought my own house after getting a divorce. It was right after 9/11. This was like 2002. And I had just been let go from my job. And I had a dependent child at that time. And my eldest son, I think he was getting ready to go into college. So it's like, woo, I got a really big why. I don't have time to play. And so he helped me. But, and I'm glad you said, you can fire your coach, because what ultimately ended up happening, I was bringing in so much money, because what we would do is we would do the deal and we would split the deal. Well, what he would do is he felt that because he was the experienced one, he was supposed to get the bigger part of the pie. And it didn't matter how many deals we did. And it didn't matter what part he played. He felt that he was supposed to always get the bigger part of the pie. And there was a point in which I'm like, this equation is not making any sense to me. Because this dude ain't doing nothing. I'm doing all the work. And so, wait a minute. And especially after you do a couple, it's like, okay, it don't take a rocket scientist for you to, this is weird. And so what happened, and this is why you do have to be careful. What happened was, though, because I felt that I owed him for the success that I had, I kept allowing him to abuse it. And I remember one particular deal. I did not get paid at all, even though I had done all of the work. And so, and it got real nasty, real quick. It got ugly real quick. And so you can have, and then the other part was, and I'm sorry, okay, I'm gonna have to. This is a lady conversation right here, because I do know that this has a tendency to happen with some of the ladies. Okay, so I'm just saying, okay. Because he was also in the military too, right? So a lot of times when you come out the military, you got a lot of confidence, right? And you're accustomed to giving orders. So after a while, he kind of got it messed up about his role. He forgot he was a coach. He thought he was an employer and I was the employee. And so he tried to take advantage of that. So a lot of times when you are like so grateful, because it's like, oh my God, I've never even made this much money before. And you're so grateful to the other person, you begin to think you are less than. And what happens is I gave my power away and he was glad to take it. He didn't have any problem with taking that power because he was accustomed to being the person with the power. So I had to, and we had gotten another thing too. Sometimes just because you have a coach or a mentor, there are times that it is only for that. And if you end up blending it with friendship, that can get messed up too. Sometimes you can blur the lines. So you have to always know, you got to know who you are. You got to have your own confidence as well. So you should make sure that even though you may be the one who does not have as much knowledge as that other person, you still have enough confidence within you to not allow someone to take advantage of you. And don't be afraid to say you're fired. Don't be afraid, because he wasn't getting my services for free. I paid for him to be my coach. And then I really paid because he kept taking the bigger chunk of every deal that I was bringing to the table. And
No, and
we brought in well over $1 million worth of deal. We did over $1 million in deals.
And that's the
So
key thing there, Gail, is you are paying for the service, right? And so, like we said, we just giving you again, this is some pros and cons. Sometimes not all coaching goes well. So, but the thing is, you are in charge also because you are the one paying to achieve your particular result. So you got to
right,
know, that's the first thing too. Why do you want to coach, mentor, or consultant? Know clearly what your objective, what your goal is that you're trying to achieve. And now you can see if they can get you to that point. Once you get to that point, it's up to you if you decide you want to go to the next level, find another coach, or now that you've mastered it. Because you're right, like I said, I don't need to keep going back to this particular coaching session I did last year because I'm pretty proficient in that skill set now.
right.
So therefore, you have achieved what you wanted to do. I went there. This is what you wanted to master. Now you get to master it, and so you move on. So that's kind of keep the lines clear, your objectives clear. Be an implementer though is the biggest thing I would say, because again, if you spend money for coaching or consulting or mentoring and you don't implement, it's like you have pretty much wasted your money. And there's a saying, the 80-20 rule, right? Generally in all transaction and coaching included, there will be 20% of the people who will implement, 80% would not. And
Right.
that's just the reality. So make sure you are not on the 80%, you're in the 20%. Okay.
Exactly.
We have a
Exactly.
few moments remaining. We got about 10 more minutes here. So here's what we want to do, Gail. So let's help a person now find out, because we've kind of gone through why. Why do you need a coach, by the way? You need a coach because you are in a place where you need a particular result, and that would be beneficial in helping you to achieve it faster or at another level. You're benefiting also because you don't have to make as many mistakes, right? If you are getting into, for example, we teach a lot about using your skills here into online business. There's no need for you to go waste money and spend on 50 different courses when you can get coaching or consulting, or figure out one coach who does it well, and now you save yourself time and money and you can go straight to the goal. I like the coaching again because even with that is you still have to go learn, right? Because you can learn indirectly from a coach by buying their material, but if you get them, they now help you to implement, and it is a faster process. So that's why I like utilizing these type of programs. Again, in business, many businesses, they're so busy and you cannot reach certain milestones or goals in a business without the help of some kind of a coach or mentor. Now here's the thing: Oprah has coaches. All the top athletes have coaches. I watched a documentary a few months ago with Usain Bolt. I'm like, he is at that time the fastest man in the world, but yet he had a coach.
That's right.
And here's the thing, Gail, the coach did not even look anything like him. So you're right. There's some things that the coach, he had a stomach and everything. The coach did not look like an athlete, but he was a coach because, again, mindset, all of these things the coach has been proven to help athletes get to where they are. So again, also
Exactly.
don't let the vessel, the messenger, be that obstacle to getting your message across. Because some people also, so you got to kind of look at that. We might say, well, he or she, they don't look like this, or they might look too old or too young. Hey, the point is, can they get you results? That's the main
Right.
thing. Can they get you the results? And have they been having a track record? Especially if they have a track record, hey, don't worry about the flawed outer vessel. All of us have a flawed vessel. The results is what counts. So
Yeah.
if you have a health goal, you can use a health coach, a fitness coach, or whatever have you. You have a financial goal, depends on what in your business. You need marketing, digital marketing is big. Many businesses don't know how to do that. Find an online marketer, find a YouTube marketer, depending on what you need. If you need to run Facebook ads, you find someone who's good at that. Whatever you want to accomplish, find the individual that can help you do that. This is crucial for me because, like I said, you can't do everything yourself. You
No.
cannot do everything yourself. And not only that, is sometimes counterproductive to try to do it off yourself. So if you've been
Right.
struggling to lose weight, I would suggest get a coach. Get a coach and watch how in the next quarter you will lose a whole lot of weight,
Yeah.
right? If academics, again, you're not doing well academically, find a tutor. Tutor is a kind of coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take a tutor before, and it was very helpful. It was very, very productive. So that's some of the things that I would share on what you can do to be able to get a coach or a consultant or whatever have you. So Gail, any other pointers on how to pick, how to choose?
Okay. So here's another thing too. I don't if you have not already, I would strongly suggest you read the book Think and Grow Rich. It was done by Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill, actually, he was, I'll say, we use the word commissioned by Andrew Carnegie to write the strategies or the principles of success. But I remember, and this might sound a little, some people you call it woo woo, but I have to tell you this because as Chance was talking, it reminded me. There's sometimes you may not find, especially mentors, not necessarily coaches, but mentors. You may not find them where you think you're going to find them. They may not even be alive because a lot of times you can find them through reading, through books. Well, Napoleon Hill, whenever he had a problem, he had this really great imagination. And what he literally would do, he would summon some of the most profound between writers and leaders and success people that he admired, and he would literally summon them in his mind. So who I remember is he would bring Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Edison, and this is like after these people had passed away. Well, obviously Abraham Lincoln had passed away, but these after these people had passed away. I think I want to say Napoleon was another person that he would literally conjure these people. He would call them his council, and he would conjure these people up in his mind because he had read so much about them. He knew so much about them, and he would literally pose the question to them: how would you handle this? What should I do? I have this challenge. What direction should I go? And he would imagine them like in his room, him having a conversation with each of them based on their personality and how they handled themselves during their particular era or their particular path to success or leadership. It was crazy. It sounded crazy, but every time he had a problem, that's what he would do. So you may not necessarily be able to do that, but you can definitely find people through books. Chance mentioned, Oprah and so many others. Almost every highly successful person has written a book. And especially if you find their autobiography or their biography, because oftentimes that helps you see how they went from point A to to Z, and how, their mental process of what they did and how they looked at a problem and how they were able to deal with it, what they did when they fell down, when they ultimately, because you're going to have a certain amount of failure. And what people say is it's not failure, it's just feedback. You're going to have times where you're going to attempt to do something and it's not going to work out. And so instead of putting yourself down and getting angry, that everyone has worked through. There is not anything you can do that someone else hasn't done. There's not. It's just not. You cannot fail at anything that someone else has not failed at before. And you can find that person. And you oftentimes it's through their books, through their written material, or having conversations with other people, watching what did they do, asking them, who helped you, and what was your result. So just being going into, I tell you, a really great place to find people to work with you, or to find people that you may be able to work with, is to do networking. Go into networking events, go to the meetups, places like that, because, and definitely seminars, and conferences, because there are going to be people there that usually the people at the front of the room that are very successful at what they're doing, or they wouldn't be at the front of the room, and they're people that you may be able to tap into. But you got to know what you want. You got to know what the result that you want, and you definitely got to know that, as Chance just said, you cannot do it alone. Um, you can, but it's like, how has that gotten you this far? Okay, where are you? If you don't have one now, and you are complaining about you're not where you want to be, you feel like your life sucks, all of those kind of negative things, then you need help. And so the best thing to do is to reach out to it, reach out for help, because there are people, and you will be surprised at the people that are there that you think, oh my God, there's no way this person will help me. You would really be surprised. You have to ask, and you've got to be willing to listen. You got to be willing to implement, and and really pretty much that's it. So you gotta be open. You have to be open, and you got to and change your attitude about what cannot be done, and that starts first. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting Think and Grow Rich, because the success principles are there. And if I remember correctly, Napoleon Hill always says that the principles start with the definiteness of purpose and having a positive mental attitude. And when you approach things that way, then then nobody will mind helping you. The worst thing in the world for a coach to do is to have a conversation with a student that's always negative. There's always talking about what they don't have, how broke they are. How come I can't do this? I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that. Okay. Nobody want to hear that. So anyway, I don't want to go off because that's a whole nother tangent I could totally go off on.
No
But
problem.
that's what I would have to say about that. And
Well,
you'd be surprised. You may have some coaches and mentors right where you are right now. So I'm gonna throw it back over to Mr. Chance.
all right. Well, I'm saying we're going to recommend some tools and resources as we close out, but we do hope that you got the gist of today's presentation on how you can use a coach, mentor, or consultant to help you achieve your personal business or any other goal that you have. Remember, guys and gals, we are now pretty much finishing out the first quarter of 2018. Where are you on your health goals, your fitness goal, your financial goal, your relationship goal, whatever goal you have, academics, whatever it may be? Are you on top of things, or have you fallen behind, or you're not achieving like you want to? Again, they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So why not get help? And one of the ways you can get help that we know that is the best, again, you look at all major athletes, right? Even the guys who are in the NBA and NFL, they all have coaches. And this is one of the reasons why the average person in society does not achieve to the maximum level. You want to know why athletes and singers and movie stars and all of these people achieve greatness to a whole nother level? It is because they all have someone to coach them, to guide them in their corner. And that's what the average person do not have. And so we want to make sure we put this tool into your hand so that you can be able to achieve big when it comes to the second quarter of 2018. So how can you do that? Well, here's one of the programs. This is one where you can be mentored or coached indirectly. So I'm going to give you that first. One program that I personally use that I have found to be very beneficial is called the 100-day challenge. I've been using that for a couple of years now. Not only that, but I set my whole year like that now. I set all my goals in 100 days increments. And not to, let's see right here. Where's my, okay, right here. I put them close by. So here are two journals, as you can see. One is the Freedom Journal, right? Accomplish your goals in 100 days. Another one is the Mastery Journal, master productivity, discipline, and focus in 100 days. So these are the tools I use as well because, like I'm saying, 100 days seems to be focus, discipline, and you can not focus on too many goals. You're saying in this particular quarter, this is what I want to accomplish, and you put all your energies into that. So we recommend the 100-day challenge, and that if you want to get into that program, is very, very simple. The strategies are all powerful, and by the way, over 500,000 people have used this stuff, right? I mean, you're talking about CEOs, execs, military people, all sorts of folks take this challenge every 100 days. So the next period is coming up as we close out this particular quarter. It's coming up again. So here's the link. Is it on the screen? I can't see too well here. But the link is the monetizeushow.com/100 day challenge. It is simple. It's already posted in the Facebook group for those who want to go check it out. But please go click on there, at least watch the videos, read the page there and see how powerful this program is and how many people and companies and different corporations have used this into achieving big goals. Again, that is the monetizeushow.com/100 day challenge. 100 meaning 100 day challenge. So please check that out. Now, we say here, if you want us to help you personally, this is something where this year we say, don't go at it alone. If you want to be coached and you want to be able to create a business online, listen. First, the simplest way is go to my website, monetizeyourskills.com, or get the book, right? This right here will help you to create an online business, whether you can sell your products, your expertise, your ideas, your knowledge, whatever have you, this can be able to do it, right? Or go to the monetizeyourshow.com, send me a message there, and I can coach you personally on that. If you want video coaching, our man right here, Curtis Brooks, right? Send us a private message right here, and Curtis Brook Media Productions can be able to help you to take your video experience to the whole nother level. And also he is branched out too. If you want help with your email marketing services, Curtis got you. So send us a message. He can be able to do all of that for you. Again, don't go it alone. He's getting some good results for some clients. Now, Gail is going to share a link, so I'll let her do that. Gail can coach you in different things as well. We already know before this show, she had her own other show going on. She's a mediapreneur. She has done different things when it comes to real estate. So she has success. In the real estate space, she was over $1 million producer in that area. So Gail can also help you if that's what you're looking for. So I'll let her share the link and then let her also close out. But thank you guys for joining us. Again, this is the second season. We are finished. This is our last episode for this season. And so we are going to regroup and see as we look forward to bringing you a third season. But right now, this is it. Every 3 months, we go and we produce a season. So we want you to make sure you go back. This is what you got to do before the next one is go back and look at all that you've missed in season 2 and see if you have implemented anything that we've spoken so far. And if you have not, then you're going to have to get coaching as we go into season 3. All right, Gail, take it over.
All right. Okay, that's good stuff. Thank you so much, Chan. So yeah, so this is what I would also say in terms of me. So there are a couple of areas that I like working with people. One, as you can tell, we do our show every couple of times a week. And one of the things, and I've been doing live streaming itself for, I think this is about my second year. And so what I like to do is to help people get ready to live stream if they haven't, or get ready for their shows. A lot of times people are uncomfortable getting in front of the camera, talking to people, things like that. So a couple of things is I can help coach you to get comfortable and get confidence in front of the camera. The other thing is, because we've been doing live streaming, I'm connected with a lot of other people who do live streaming and podcasting. If you want to learn how to get onto other people's shows, I can help you help facilitate that for you as well. And hey, guess what? Of course, my new project. Yeah. If you want to check out how to be an Airbnb host and make money while you are right under your own roof, so you can make money with your own home. Have a real home-based business, then I can help guide you and get that done for you as well. So how do you take advantage of any of that? I say, let's have a conversation. And that all starts with getting on my calendar. So we've created a link. I think it's a bit.ly link, bit.ly forward slash talk to Gail, and get onto my calendar, because I never know where I'm going to be. Like today, I'm in Pico Rivera, California, and in fact, I'm leaving today. And so, get on my calendar, and we can have a conversation. So if you want to know about how to get in front of the camera and start live streaming yourself, or if you want to learn how to get onto other people's podcasts and how to get known faster, we can do that. Or if you want to look at how to begin to set up your own Airbnb and be a host, we can help you there as well. So all of that starts with, let's have a conversation with me, and we can take it from there. So with all of that being said, we always say thank you so very much for being here. We really appreciate you guys being here and supporting the show every week. We are here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and 12 noon Pacific. I guess I could say that now, right? 12 noon Pacific. And so thank you so much for being here. We always like to say thank you to Mr. Curtis Brooks from Curtis Brooks Media Production. And as Chance mentioned, if you need help setting up your live stream, all the tech stuff, your email, all of that, then you definitely want to connect with him. And I want to say thank you for doing all the stuff that you do for us, Mr. Curtis Brooks. And so we will see you guys again on Thursday for Make It Happen Thursday, and also once again next Tuesday. And as I say at the end of every show, if you can imagine it, you can monetize it. See you guys next week.